TLOC and UPX versions of this. So we'll go ahead and load this up in Ollie debug and use the method that Val showed earlier, where we're going to run it with this Ollie script here to basically unpack or find the OEP. And just for consistency, so the address there is BB08, if you watch that. And just for consistency, we use the same version of the virus, which was netbull. So again, we'll load the driver here. Get that going, and then actually run Saffron against it on the TLOC version. And what happens here when it doesn't crash is that you see this actual address, BB08, and we see an execute inside of that memory region. So now what we'll do is each time we see a candidate OEP, we actually dump a file. So we're going to drag this over, open it up in IDA. Imports are still destroyed. Well, so this is the original version here that we tried to look at. Okay, so the original version has no names, no functions, no strings. Well, it has strings, but they don't look very useful. And the flow graph is very boring. Okay, so let's close this, then open up the new version of, or the unpacked version, one of our dump candidates. So we'll copy that over. And what we can actually see is that as IDA executes, we're getting more functions. It generally seems happier. The functions are being filled out, so it's able to analyze a binary and find the C++. And up top, we can see that the graph or the visualization shows us that there's more code that's actually there. And as far as like the cross references, you find that, and you get the unpacked version.
Working now.
Okay.
You want to see VM Protect?
Yeah. Okay.
We can try this.
Val got the live version working again. Sorry.
I just got it to unpack VM Protect, so we can try it again and see what happens.
Has anybody here tried to unpack VM Protect? Or
VM Protect is this Russian packer that carries a virtual machine inside itself to unpack itself. So it's really hard to deal with. All right, so I've already loaded the driver and everything. Let's. I know you probably can't see this so great, but we're running saffron-file, then the VM Protect version of netbull.
Yay.
So now we should have some unpacked files here. So basically, I mean, we have the same dump of VM Protect, and you can see that we use the OEP address in our dumps so that we know which one is more likely to be the good one, and that's the same OEP we keep finding. I'll open an IDA so you guys can see what it looks like. It's going to take a minute.
So the multiple candidate OEPs are coming from each time you hit executable section?
Right. Each time we hit an execution inside of a previously written memory address region.
Sometimes a rule of thumb is you can go by the last dump, because that's generally past where you need to be. In this case, since we manually unpacked it first to test it out, we knew what the real OEP is, so that's why we're going with that one. But you could take the last dump, and in general, that'll be good.
Okay. And so as you can see here on the live version, we've actually unpacked VM Protect 2 generically without having to actually step it through a debugger.
So the strings look pretty good. We can even, you know you have good disassembly when you can chart xrefs or even follow them. So, you know, we have completely usable disassembly. The strings, I mean, we even got, here's where it does its run key, so it starts on boot. Here's the guy's name, stuff like that. So it's pretty well unpacked. The imports are good.
Second time's a charm. Okay, well, while Windows is figuring that out, let's see. Oh, no. All right. So some of the future work, we released the initial version of Saffron at Black Hat. This is the dynamic instrumentation version based on PIN. This was some of the original. This is based on their code, which has a strange Intel license, meaning it can't be really used in any sort of commercial form. But we're still working on a drag and drop unpacked version of the Saffron kernel, and Danny's learning kernel programming, as you can all tell. So we're going to integrate this into offensive computing, and it'll be ready any day now. As far as questions or further information, offensivecomputing.net. But I'd like to say thanks to Lori Liebrock, Houdini Escape, Bugcheck, Skywing, Tybo Dell, Uninformed, and Vax. Everybody was really helpful in helping us get through this. So,
Thanks. I think we still have a few minutes if you guys have any questions or want to talk about anything else.
If you've got strange Packers, feel free to come up and we'd like to try them. So, yes?
At the beginning of your presentation, you talked a lot about automating the process completely.
Right.
Doing thousands of things. This thing you showed us still needs significant analyst work.
Yeah.
Can't command line. You didn't cover any of the sort of automation.
The automation for this would be to put a while loop around that command line and then just feed it new pieces of malware each time. So, something like that, yeah.
Our website actually automates a lot of the analysis process. It just doesn't automate the decryption part, which is what we just demonstrated. So the decryption part is really the hardest, most labor-intensive chunk of it.
If you want to ask questions, come up here or talk to
Did you get
somebody.
a copy of your presentation if I send you an email?
Yes, it's up on our website.